Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports. We are the Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, celebrating a half a decade this season of podcasting. The best sports podcast in the nation, Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. Everyone knows it. Keep on listening and bring some friends, all right? If you're new to the show, we're just some neighborhood friends that get together weekly to talk sports around some brews. Next week, we will be broadcasting live from MJ's Bar and Grill.
Yep.
So if you hear some background noise, that's the reason why, because getting back to the roots, we're going to go ahead and spend some time at the bar, drink there, spend some money, well spent, of course, at our favorite watering hole.
Which is a good reason they should donate to our fund.
Yeah, the money's even better spent if they spend it on us.
Yeah.
So if you want to, if you guys want to say it, that's fine. Venmo us at Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. Send us some money so we can support our liquor habit next week. Maybe my man over there, the Rebel, will be able to drink by then. I don't know. How you feeling, man? You're drinking some Coca-Cola Zero over there with no makers in it.
I'm on the wagon this week.
I'm sorry about that, man. So stay tuned as we're going to talk about the week one, official week one is starting this weekend, and some of the biggest games from that week, including the, we have multiple games. We have Miami versus UF. We got Penn State at West Virginia. We got Boston College versus FSU. We got Clemson, Georgia. Some possible upsets in there. Maybe, maybe not, but we'll be talking about that, so keep on listening and you'll get to hear all about that. If you want to bring some friends to listen to the show, please subscribe, send that link to your friends, and then come on back and join us every week as we talk the best sports in the country, baby. I don't know. There are podcasts that have more, there's podcasts that have more listeners, but there's no podcast that has a higher rating on Apple Podcasts, and that's for 5 stars.
Yes.
So that's
and
it.
we don't have Paul Feinbaum.
That's right. So we got a new member here today. We were out there trying to find the best talent for you. And after a major interview on Lake Carolina in a tube drinking beer, I was like, you know what? There's one guy that I think can join us for this show, and that is the Mountaineer. I think that's what we're calling him.
Sure, man. Whatever. I
The
appreciate
Mountaineer!
Welcome, Mountaineer.
The Mountaineer!
You got to say "Let's go" before you say the Mountaineer, right?
Let's go! The Mountaineer!
There you go.
I don't know if I can
Is that how we do it?
That's how we do it.
All right, so anyway, we got the Mountaineer here.
I thought you said his nickname was going to be the Panther.
The
Sex Panther?
I don't know.
You're way off.
We got the Mountaineer. We got the Rebel. We got the Chief. We got Sheiks.
Hello.
We signed under contract now for the year. He was a little apprehensive to sign only because
He was a holdout.
He was a holdout. He was trying to get the big money out of us. But we do have him back. It's Chopper.
What's going on?
And as always, one of my favorite Ohio State fans in the world, we have Ripper the Predictor. All
This
right.
week it's Ripper.
It took him a minute to remember, but he got it.
I know. Ripper the Predictor. He's not very good at predicting, though.
We're going to find out this year.
He's already got all of his picks.
Yeah, we're going to find out this year.
Yeah.
We are. This year, if you're listening to the show, you're going to get to know, or you're going to get to hear our picks, and then we got Ripper's going to track those picks and see who is actually gets to have the honor of the predictor after him. It might be
deep level analysis going on over here.
It might be Chopper the Predictor. It might be the Rebel the Predictor. We'd have to slim that down a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe that's
or the
what we
Mountaineer
do.
and the Predictor.
Whoever wins, before we get too far, if you don't mind, what are we betting for? Are we putting $10 in a person, $20 a person,
I'll do
or
10.
everybody buys a drink? What do we want to do?
I'll do 10.
Whoever wins, everyone has to buy them a drink. I think that's a good deal.
Holy crap,
That's 6
that's
drinks, 7
drunk.
drinks. Are you in, Mountaineer?
I've already bought some drinks. I can buy some more. Yeah.
All right. I think you
But
can
again,
handle
you're
it.
only buying one for the person that wins, and let's give the predictor name to the winner.
All right. So there's only one person
This is
here
like
for
King of the
sure.
Ring in WWE.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford a belt, but
There's only one person here right now that deserves the name Predictor, and that is Hanger the Predictor, because I predicted that Georgia Tech blowout last week.
Did you buy yourself a beer?
I don't know. Y'all should all buy me a beer.
let me get you a
I
Bud
think
Light.
that's only okay. Grab me a Bud Light. Yes. There you go. All right. So
Because that's all you get for a 3-point win.
yeah, exactly. So college football predictions. We did not do that yet.
Nope.
And we always do a college football playoff prediction show. The thing that happened though this year, what happened? We have a problem because there's 12 teams in the playoffs. So we're just going to figure who's going to be in the final 4 of the college football playoff at the end, right? That's what we're thinking right now. So we're going to go ahead and go around the table, break out that pen, Ripper, because we're going to go ahead and find out who is going to be in the final 4 this year. And we're going to start with the Mountaineer. Did I send you the
No,
topics?
you did.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
No, you did. I couldn't remember who I put. So I got Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, and Oregon.
Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, and Oregon. All right, gotcha. Why did you make those choices?
I think Oregon is the best team. I'm sorry. I think Ohio State is the best team in the country.
Okay.
Oh, I like this
Lord
Mountaineer
help
guy.
us.
I don't want to get too deep into it here. I do think they're going to go out to Oregon and get beat, but I think they'll rematch in the Big Ten championship. I think they're going to go. I think
So
Oregon
both
gets in.
teams make it into the top four, or into the playoff and into the Big Ten championship,
Yes.
and then they're going to end up playing each other in the Final Four, you think?
I think so, absolutely. I don't know if they're going to play each other, but they'll both be in the final.
They'll
four.
both be in the Final Four, okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to make it somewhere into the Final Four. Gotcha. And then you put Texas in there, because they're
think-
going to win the SEC.
I hate Texas. I
Okay.
almost hate Texas as much as I dislike Ohio State, but
Oh.
they are loaded. They
And you
are,
had-
they are good. They are good, and they're coming into an SEC that I think is not quite as good as they usually are.
And you have Georgia.
I have Georgia. Yeah,
So you got
Georgia.
two SEC teams, two Big Ten
It's
teams.
going to shake out to be Big Ten, SEC.
I mean-
Contrary to this Big 12 guy, it's going to end up being like that.
Hey, man, we all have our biases, but at least we're realistic, right?
Yeah.
All right. What do you got there, Rebel? Who is in your Final Four?
So I think my first two, I think I'll be shocked if it's consistent around the table, and that's the obvious Georgia, Oregon. I think that's going to be a pretty consistent
Georgia
one.
and Oregon. Okay.
I think Ohio State does get there because of the way the playoffs are going to be drawn up. They will find a way to lose in the Final Four, but they will probably be there.
Ohio State.
Ohio State will be.
Okay.
And then here's my flyer. I don't know. I just like it because they're going to be battle tested, and if they can stay healthy, your Tennessee Volunteers are going to play in the Final Four this year.
I know some fans of the show. They're going to be happy to hear that.
I mean,
The schedule to get there.
they've got the schedule. They got a few tough games, but I think this quarterback they've got playing this year is the real deal. So if they can protect him, Tennessee's going to make some noise.
So are you putting them in the SEC championship, or are they just like getting in at like
No,
the eighth spot?
and
and
that's
ninth
the thing.
spot?
That's the thing you got to keep in mind with this playoffs. And where I come from, a world
They don't
that-
have to be in the SEC championship.
No,
to get
I
it.
mean I come from
Playoffs.
I come from a playoff world my entire football career, right? That's what we've always done.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is we're sitting here picking this Final Four, always having to keep in mind it may not be feasible because of the way the pairings and the way it shakes out
Right.
when you get into the 12. I mean, and the thing is when you get to a 12-team tournament, it's almost starts to be like more like NCAA basketball.
What's your placement?
Your matchups could matter that much. I mean, the one I almost stuck in here instead was Ole Miss. Ole Miss gets a favorable draw and then ends up playing at NC State because NC State wins the ACC and gets an automatic berth, stuff like that. I mean, again, the matchups will matter. And, as we pick this, you could end up your Final Four, end up being the four to have to play one another all the way down, so it's not possible. But if you're going to say who I think probably has the chops right now to do it, that's the four I'm picking.
Yeah, I mean, and I made my top 12 first, and I figured where they would be ranked at the end of the season, and then I was doing those matchups, and I was like, oh, crap. Liberty's obviously not going to beat Georgia.
Liberty's not going to be there. We didn't establish this.
Well, they're going to be there, because they're going to be undefeated at the end of the season.
This is the guy who picked Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so I go for the underdogs, baby, for sure. All right, so, Chief, who do you got in your Final Four?
Oregon,
Oregon?
Texas,
Okay.
Georgia, Penn State.
Okay.
Penn State. Okay, so we're all going to, or you're going against Ripper on this Ohio State thing, huh?
Yep.
You just think that they're overrated, or you just think that Penn State is going to pull off the win this season?
I think Penn State's going to pull it off this season.
Okay, are
And
they
I
in the
am
big?
not-
Are they in the Big Ten championship?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how they get in, because I assume that that whoever's in the play or whoever's in the SEC championship and whoever's in the Big Ten championship is pretty much in. Both of them are in the playoffs no matter what,
Unless I did think
unless there's some crazy stuff.
unless
that happens.
if you look at Iowa's schedule, they could easily backdoor back in the Big Ten championship game like they did last year. They have a joke.
Now they'll choke in the last 4 games.
They have a joke schedule.
Yeah.
Joke. I mean, they play Ohio State, and that's it. They could. Last year, they backed in the Big Ten championship game, and they couldn't score on offense. So-
Gotcha.
But I agree with what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the ones that still have divisions, you may have one that gets there that doesn't. Like, what was it, 2-3 years ago, Minnesota played in the championship, and they had like 4 or 5 losses. But when you look at like the SEC, where you no longer have divisions, your top 2 are going to get in.
Big Ten doesn't have division.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is,
yeah. So
anybody has
SEC
divisions.
and Big Ten don't have divisions this
So
season.
your top 2 are in because they will
Oh.
have to run the gauntlet to get there. The only way that doesn't happen, the only way say like a Big Ten or SEC participant doesn't get in would be something ridiculous, like they lose all of their non-conference games and then win out in the conference. Which
Are they
is never
are
gonna
they
happen.
all divisionless now? They're all divisionless now.
I don't
No,
know.
no, ACC
ACC
still has
still
divisions. Or the Big 12 has never had divisions, right?
No.
It's always been the
So
top
the
2,
ACC
yeah.
is the only one, and that's realistic that you could have a participant in their championship game that does not make it to the playoffs because of how poor they could be to get to that
And we're
championship.
sure the
game.
ACC doesn't have divisions.
ACC
I thought
does
it
have
They're
divisions.
the only.
Yeah.
I thought they got away with it. I thought they did away with theirs too. Again, I'm talking about. I thought they did away with
I
theirs.
thought all of them
divisions
did.
also.
Because of the
We can
playoffs.
always have the guys in the back room look it up,
Yeah.
just
Bear.
to make sure.
Guys in the back room,
While
please look it
we
up.
have Cheeks give us her top 4 at the end of the season.
I went completely.
You're
bonkers.
going rogue, huh?
I went rogue.
USC.
Because I knew you guys. I did not. I did this only because I knew
Okay.
you guys were going to be really predictable, except for one. I knew 3 out of 4 would be predictable.
Okay.
So I went bizarre.
Okay, so who's your
The
Georgia,
guys in the back, ACC does not have divisions.
no
anymore.
divisions?
This
Okay,
year.
this year. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. That'll be-
Georgia,
Georgia. Okay, obviously everyone has Georgia.
Oregon,
Oregon. Yeah.
Okay.
Alabama. What?
First year of a brand new coach with
Yeah.
a team that is not the team that they had last year.
Right.
Same quarterback, Jalen Monroe.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll give you that.
Or Mizzou.
And Mizzou.
Mizzou.
Their schedule's so easy. They're in the
Yes.
They're in the SEC championship.
Great.
If
Great.
they win out.
And then they get beat in the first round of playoffs. Remember, you're talking about getting the Final Four running through the playoffs. Will they get in the playoffs? Yes. And
But-
they get crushed.
But think about a healthy
maybe
Mizzou
not.
against an unhealthy Tennessee, for
Yeah.
example.
If
because they've
Tennessee's
had a
unhealthy,
record-
then they don't get there.
yeah,
Or
maybe.
Utah. They get a Utah or something like that in that first round.
Yeah.
8-9, 7-10.
Again, you guys aren't used to this dynamic. You're going to see just how crazy this can get.
I did not pick Lincoln
I'm really
Riley.
excited to
That's all
see
that
how the
matters.
12 teams play out.
This is
for
going to
sure.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I'll interject. This the reason I'm excited about it is coming from a 1AA background. We've had 16 teams plus for years. When I played, it was 16. The one year you got a few upsets, you got a few good pairings, and the number 14 seeded UMass Minutemen won the national championship because they got a little help because of some upsets. That's the kind of stuff you can see. I mean, what happens if your group of 5 school gets an upset and then pulls off an upset?
Liberty comes out and beats Georgia.
I didn't even acknowledge the stupidity coming out of your mouth right now. 'Cause they're not going to be there.
All right, Chopper, give it to me, man.
Drum roll, please.
Top 4. Auburn,
Oh, yeah.
Alabama, Georgia, LSU. No? Okay. All
It's
SEC.
It's close. It's
All
close.
SEC.
Yeah, you know me. I called it last year when we would go to a 12-team playoff. Watch out for the SEC Final Four. And it's going to be Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Ole Miss.
Ooh, all 4. Huh?
They did Alabama too.
I almost did that.
You did. And all SEC Final Four, huh?
Yep.
No Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon.
All SEC.
If that happens.
It's just opening up the field for those teams that are like 1 or 2 lost and like an 8-9 seed to like win a game and get it.
Yeah, like Penn State come.
If
they're
that
right.
happens, the SEC is only going to become way more powerful than Big Ten.
Yes. Yes.
That would be interesting to see an all SEC Final
I'd
Four.
love it.
I'd
But
be
at
down
least
now.
they earned it if they do.
Yep.
If they get in
That's
like
right.
that,
That's
at least
right.
they earned it, right?
That's
But
right.
that'll be all 4 SEC teams.
Tennessee
that
has
are
the
in the
pathway.
playoffs.
Ole Miss has the pathway. Georgia and Alabama are always consistent.
All right.
Alabama will be just as good this year without seeding.
Lip ripping fishing. My man Ripper.
So I've got Ohio State, Georgia, Penn State, and Utah as my Final Four.
Utah.
Yep.
Yep, I can
Yeah,
Wow.
they're going to be a conference champion. They're going to get a bye for the first round. They've only got to win 1 game to get to the Final Four. I think with Cam Rising coming back and then Kyle Whittingham as their coach, always got a good defense on the field. I think they can do it. They can make that 1 win to get to the round of 4.
You're making a big assumption.
I think
That Rising's going to make it past like 3, 4, maybe 5 games.
you're making a big assumption that Cam Rising will come back and be the same player he was. What was the last time he played? 3 seasons ago?
No.
Maybe longer than
Well,
that.
2 years ago, he got hurt again in the bowl
In the
game.
Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes, I am.
All
I'm
right.
making a big assumption.
Making a big assumption. You just do not like to have free beers bought for you, huh? He's like, I did not want y'all buying me
At the
beer.
end of the season, he's going to be going, remember I said Utah, here it is.
27 August. I put the date down.
All right.
What do you got for us, Hanger?
I got OSU. I
The
have,
Cowboys?
No, the Ohio State University.
So that's TOSU.
Trying to be respectful
Yeah.
to my man Ripper over here. I got
You about to call me Chipper.
Chipper. He's so chipper.
Okay,
All right.
Larry.
We got Texas on my list because I do think that they're going to have a really good season. I got Penn State because I just see them winning some games that they shouldn't win.
I've got some thoughts on Penn State when we get to it.
And I had them ranked number 8 on my list, and they're going to be playing Miami number 9 in the first round. And then
No.
when they play, then they'll end up playing Kansas because Kansas is going to win the Big 12, and that's going to get them into the Final Four. That's
You
the
got
only reason
Kansas?
why I got
Miami's
Wow.
not going to be there because the Gators are going to beat them this weekend.
Hey, right now I've got OSU, Texas, Penn State, and
and Ole Miss.
No Georgia? No Alabama?
No,
I don't have Georgia or Alabama. Nope.
Wow.
Because Georgia has a really tough schedule, and
They
not
were the best team.
they're the best team, but they have a really tough schedule. They have a phenomenal quarterback. Everything about that team is going to be great.
Can I interject
But
on that?
The potential to lose 1 or 2 games is there to not make the SEC championship. Yeah, I have them in my playoff. I have them in number 5, but I think that they're going to lose to OSU whenever they end up playing after because OSU's going to be on a bye week that week before.
I don't interject there for a second. I don't think they win because of that quarterback. Because I want you to think about in recent history with Georgia, Alabama, all these SEC schools, the heir apparent quarterback to come in that's supposed to be all world had a really good year the year before, had a really good year before that. His year last year, stats were fine, but he made some dumb mistakes last year and did some boneheaded things that you're making the assumption he's cleaned that up in one off season. He's just not. I don't know. You just don't get the same feel that you did of like Stetson Bennett when he came through. Like, I mean, honestly, you just don't.
I 100% agree with I think I sent a message. Yeah, Carson Beck is so overrated. His stats and the eye tests don't match up.
Correct.
That guy against Alabama.
His stats were like, I think he had 3,500 yards passing last season.
To me, he has the NFL version of Cam Newton. Stats were wonderful. The eye test was not there. I'll give you an example. That Alabama.
Are you dissing Cam Newton right next to him?
No, great college.
Don't even.
I thought Cam played well for the first 5 years.
Don't start knocking him out, Chopper.
But anyway, what I'm saying is when you look at the SEC championship game last year, the eye test, Carson Beck did not play well. The stats, he was 21 of 27 for like 289. But I asked you to go back and look at it and go, where did he get that at?
He was like 69% passing completion.
He did not. And by the way, a lot of those were catch-up yards when they fell down.
Well,
I think they fell down by 14 in that game.
Well, here's the thing, though. With what I've watched last year, the difference with him is his yards are the dink and dunk yards. He would be a great Drinkwitz quarterback at Missouri, Captain Dink and Dunk. He's not going to rear back and sling it 60 yards down the field consistently. Yeah. So
exactly.
my point being is what's going to limit him is the inability to stretch the field.
So what we're saying is that Georgia is not going to have the leadership talent that they had 2 or 3 years ago.
Correct. They still got to get it done.
And we all know that they don't have their defense is not expected to be the defense that they've had the last 3-4 seasons as well. So we have a bad leadership on offense, good leadership but not great leadership on offense, and we have a defense that is slightly lacking. That's what most of the pundits are saying, right?
I think the defense will be better than anticipated this year. They're going to overachieve. I think the quarterback's going to a little underachieve, and it's going to be ugly. They're going to win ugly.
But you all have Georgia in the playoff.
They've got that much talent.
You guys have them in the Final Four. I don't because
they've got the second best roster in the country.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I think that Georgia will beat OSU, OSU will beat Georgia in the what is it? The second round, basically, yeah. Okay. And that's the only reason why, because Georgia will be ranked number 5, depending on if they lose the SEC championship.
That's if they don't win the championship.
Yeah, if they don't win the championship, they're going to be ranked number 5, right?
And they don't reseed, right? They're not reseeding after the first round. They're going.
No,
that's correct. Yeah. So it'll be Georgia versus an OSU. If they win out, if they do the expectations, then that'll be a great second round matchup. Absolutely. And I think that at that point you have OSU wins that game. That's the only reason I don't have Georgia in my Final Four.
So what's
we just argued a lot about my freaking 4.
What's Georgia going to be ranked after they get upset by Clemson this weekend?
I'm not worried about that either.
Doesn't matter.
See, I think that Clemson has a chance, but I don't know. I think on the
you
guys
picked them to win.
Well,
I did, yeah. No, on Guys About Arkansas Sports, the Facebook group, I do have Clemson winning, but that's just because I don't want Georgia to win. The same reason why I had Georgia Tech beating FSU last week, because I refuse. When it doesn't matter that much, I refuse to make rules.
You mean you pick Mr. Captain Happy Feet in the backfield? Okay.
Hey, whatever, man, whatever. All right, what if OSU, the Ohio State University, ends up with average quarterback play out of Will Howard? What kind of team are they going to have if Will Howard does not meet expectations?
I'm jumping right in.
Okay, jump in. That's why I asked the question.
He doesn't have to have a Heisman performance for them to win the national championship.
Why not?
Because they've got 5 receivers on their roster that could be wide receiver 1 at any other school. They've got 2 running backs that could start at any other school. They've got an incredible defense. They've got so much talent coming back on defense, and then what we've added through the transfer portal. And then, honestly, this is the year for everything to go well. You've got 2 5-star defensive ends. You've got Alabama's transfer center who made some mistakes, obviously, but he's still, I think, a former 4 or 5-star center that's going to come in there and basically captain that offense. You got a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback that just transferred from Kansas State that's got a lot of experience. He doesn't need to win the game. You've got your defense that can win the game, and then you got enough talent around him. And honestly, the best talent that's I've probably ever seen on an Ohio State team, top to bottom. All he's got to do is be able to get the ball into the hands of his playmakers.
Which the coach will prevent from happening, so it doesn't happen.
Well, what coach are we talking about? Because Ryan Day's no longer calling plays. We got Chip Kelly, who's a hell of an offensive mind, calling our plays. He's our new offensive coordinator. I'm excited to see how it opens up the offense and we become more 2-dimensional instead of 1-dimensional, because for the last 3-4 years, we could not run the ball effectively.
I love your passion.
So and they do have the running backs
It's like
that
a
they're going to
Cowboy
need
fan.
to get some
I
yards.
mean, we just took the best running back, like one, if not the best, one of the best running backs from the SEC, and now he's paired up with Travion Henderson.
So what happens is when they lose a game they should win, and Chip Kelly starts pointing fingers because it's never going to be his fault. He's proven that. It's always somebody else's fault. You get disdain in the locker room. Ryan Day won't be able to hold it together, and he's in the unemployment line at the end of the year.
But I think a 12-team playoff makes Ryan Day like you say,
Less reliability?
Like
Maybe.
Less culpable.
14 playoff. He loses the last game of the season. He's out. That happened to him with the last couple of years, right? Now you got 12. He can go out to Oregon. I think they'll go out to Oregon. Maybe they'll get beat. I think that's their first real game. I think I said to you on the water.
It is October 12th.
I would not be shocked, and I know you think this is crazy. I would not be shocked if they don't give up a single point until October 12th.
And
they are that freaking good. I hate it. Can't stand it.
And what did I say to you? This is exactly what I said to him on the lake when we were talking about this. I was like, you have way too much confidence in a team that hasn't even played together yet. Like, in reality, that team, while they were good last year, there's a lot of different pieces within that.
Right.
Within that
But some of that is,
organization
you look
now.
at that. Actually, I looked at, so after we talked, I went back home, looked at the schedule. Two of those teams they played last year, they didn't give up. They gave up a field goal and a late touchdown. So, do I think they're going to shut them out? No. Would I be surprised if they shut everybody out? No, I would not be surprised. I do think Oregon might give them that punch in the face at Eugene, crazy environment, but they'll get their revenge in the Big Ten.
I don't think
championship.
Oregon's a game they lose, though.
Hey, they might not. I'm just saying that's their first real
Yeah.
test. We'll see.
The best thing that could happen to them is Oregon to punch them in the face.
I agree. I think they should lose
Because-
that game.
I think a tough game, yeah.
No, I think the best thing that could happen to them is them to go out there and lose. Kind of, all right, here's
Yeah.
where we fix it, and now we run the table. That's the best thing that could happen to
They're
them.
going to lose the Big Ten championship game to Oregon at the end of the season.
They're not going to be playing.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying you get that loss out of the way, get
Yeah.
Ryan Day moving them again, and then I think they're going to. And look, I am not an Ohio State fan, but they're just good. I mean, they're just
Clearly, you're not. You're wearing West Virginia everything right now.
No, well, I represent.
That's why we don't videotape this show.
Everything?
Everything.
Yeah, I don't wanna
Underwear and socks. Yep, exactly. So, all right. Does anyone else have anything to say on this? What if Will Howard does not perform where he needs to be?
Does he have to?
No.
Does he have to? Is he better than?
He doesn't need to be C.J. Stroud.
Is he better than McCourt?
Because he's a dual threat quarterback, yes.
Yeah, so-
And he's got leadership.
He's got a lot more experience than exactly. Okay, all right. Which teams will have the best offense in the country? Did I put that on our list of things to
Nope.
talk about? Well, does anyone have any thoughts on that then? Because I just started coming up with random shit
Oregon.
right off the bat. Just the other day, I was like, oh, let's just talk about defenses and offenses.
Are you talking about just strictly statistics, or are you
statistically the best offense in the country? Yeah.
LSU.
I mean, it could be Liberty. Who knows?
I'm going for LSU.
LSU.
He's just trying to piss me off, isn't he?
Yeah, they're going to put up.
What is
a
with you and
Oregon.
Liberty?
Why do you say LSU? What
Oregon.
are they have a brand new quarterback coming in.
Both their offensive line is intact except for one guy,
Okay.
Nussmeier?
and they were
So he'll have time to throw.
yeah.
Brian Kelly, I
the
don't care
running
for him
game.
either, but he is a very good offensive-minded coach.
So whatever quarterback he brings in is going to be able to do that.
I thought I read somewhere he played in relief of Jalen Daniels in a bowl game. Is that correct? And threw like 6 touchdowns or something. I mean, so he's pretty good. I mean, he's-
Okay.
yeah.
That's fine. Oregon. I heard someone say Oregon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oregon always.
Dylan Gabriel,
Top
I mean,
offense.
he's been playing for 27 years. I think he knows what he's doing.
All the people that are listening to the show
still hasn't played as long as Bo
you
Nix
in an
did.
echo chamber. All right.
What's that?
Hey, my boy Bo Nix got named a starter at Denver.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think Westwood's quarterback can start at Denver right now.
I was going to say,
Probably not Westwood.
what were their options?
Anyhow, okay.
Denver has a football team.
So I caught you all off guard with that one. So who's the best defense in the country this season?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. The guy that says that they're not going to have any points scored on them until October 13th. So I think that you agree with that. Then. Okay, that is definitely the best defense.
It's
Huh?
hard. And Georgia and Alabama. are
I'm
always
not going to
consistent.
say the best,
Defense.
but excessively better. Keep an eye on the Sooners.
The Sooners,
Keep
really.
an eye on the Sooners. They are going to be dramatically improved.
Now we're talking about statistically,
Yes.
and I think that Iowa and I
Yeah.
think that Nebraska.
It's because Iowa's never going to let
Statistic-
anybody on the field. It's going to control
Yeah,
70
Nebraska's
minutes of the game.
Nebraska's defense can spend
Iowa-
the whole game on the field.
Yeah, but Iowa and Nebraska, they both have a good stone wall right up there in the front. Now they can't freaking win a game because neither of them can put up points.
Well, they got a new
But-
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so either one of those teams could end up having the best defense in the country.
Which
What's
high
the
school did he
over?
come from?
What's the over under on Nebraska Iowa total points?
7.
Oh, probably
I would say 22.
20 at best.
high?
Yeah,
I would say 22 is what the line will be.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be light
And they'll probably, you better bet the under.
because I think teams were beating Nebraska last year like 12-10, you know, and stuff like that. It was like crazy. That
In
they-
overtime.
In overtime, yeah, they couldn't freaking win.
I do
They-
think Clemson will have a very, very good defense this year too.
They will.
Clemson, yeah. Will it? Well, I guess we'll talk about that.
No,
in a minute.
I'm not gonna. Georgia, I don't think is getting enough love on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
I'm gonna say I'm going to give you a top 3, and it's going to be Ohio State, Iowa, and Georgia. Top, scoring defense statistically in the country at the end of the year. And let's not forget about Michigan.
Let's talk about the games that are coming up this weekend and close out this whole speculation stuff about who's the best defenses. We don't know. We'll never know until it's happening, right? Until we're in like week 6 or 7. You're
Not
like,
near
oh crap! Like remember a couple of years ago, or those last 2 years ago, it was Georgia had 12 points scored on them in like the first 8 games or something at best. It was crazy. And anyway, so we can't speculate. But we can always speculate about the games that are coming up this weekend, right?
Do it.
So we do have one Landon the Legend who sent us his picks this week. And
Am I keeping track of Landon's picks?
Yes.
I think you should, yeah, absolutely.
Because last year he was like, if you bet his picks, you made money last year.
Yeah, this kid's pretty good. He knows how to pick. As long as it's a straight up win versus loss, right?
Is he 5 this year?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
he's
Is he?
4 or
Yeah.
5,
Is he
something like
4?
that. Yeah, so we
4.
trust.
Yeah.
So Mountaineer, we
Is he
trust
a
the
kid?
5-year-old
Yeah.
to make
Oh,
picks on
okay,
our
hey,
show.
man.
Yeah, his parents send him in every week, and then we show what they are, and then we compare ourselves against him.
This week
and
he
beats
loves
us
the
every
underdog.
week. I don't know what it is, so we shall see. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into Landon's picks now.
Clemson, Texas A&M, LSU, FSU, Florida, West Virginia.
So he's
And that's
chose
a game
West
I think is an
Virginia.
upset.
And he said West
All
Virginia.
right. Yep, I'm recording
Like
again.
A&M.
We're recording, everybody.
I told you he loves the underdogs this week.
Yeah.
All
so,
right.
so he is a man after the Mountaineers' heart, by the way, or he is a kid after the Mountaineers' heart after choosing West Virginia. Did he choose Tennessee this week? Did I have them on the list?
He's not on the list.
Oh, that's not even a conversation piece. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into our thoughts on the following games. Last week, we had a major upset in the world of college football. Number 10 FSU loses to Georgia Tech.
Race for Damas.
Yeah, so what happened with that game? I want to talk about that for just a second, right? What happened with that game? Georgia Tech, were they underrated?
No. DJ Alphabet is that bad. He was that bad at Clemson. He had pulled it together a little bit at Oregon. He is not a good quarterback.
No touchdowns.
So that's what...
No touchdowns.
So you think that's what lost the game?
They built the offense around him being able to throw the ball, and he did none of that.
When he
Was it
missed,
9
he
for
missed
14
big.
for like 98 yards?
Listen, guys, put it to you like this. Last year, Oregon State's coach named Jonathan Smith left. He's former quarterback, left and went to Michigan State. He didn't take DJ with him. He took the backup with him. What does that tell you? Florida State should have taken notice right there.
Yeah.
So why did he have such a good year statistically last year?
I don't know.
Because he looked good last year.
I think they schemed for him. They schemed to his strengths and tried to stay away from his weaknesses, whereas Florida State came in and tried to do what they did with their quarterback last year, and he doesn't have the toolbox to do that.
So it's not DJ's fault.
But they do have an amazing kicker. Fitzgerald? Yeah.
Oh, the kick at what, 59 yards?
59 was good from
And
64.
a 51.
Yeah,
50.
he is a beast. So you think,
I think Georgia Tech is going to be better than anticipated. Florida State's going to be worse.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech finished the year last year, I think 5-3.
They play good,
I
disciplined
mean,
football.
they're fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
They just
44.
run the ball.
They might win.
They
They're
stay
7-game winners.
They stay out of long yardages. I mean, again, they're not flashy. You're not going to get excited to watch them.
The
but
Ramblin' Wreck.
But you don't want to play them. I mean, again, go look what they did at the end of
Don't wanna
last
play
year.
them.
They pretty much brought that team back. I mean, are they going to go run the table and win the ACC? No. Are they going to be a well above 500 team that's going to beat some good teams? Yeah, I think so.
They'll sneak up
I mean, like
on
NC State, who everybody's high on, don't want to play them. Clemson sure as hell don't want to play them.
Clemson's playing NC State for Parents Weekend this year.
But a lot of people are saying FSU's dead. They're not.
No.
I mean, they
No,
still
they're
control
not
their own destiny.
They do.
They have an opportunity to regroup. They did have to travel pretty far. Georgia Tech's got one of those wonky offenses that gives a lot of defenses trouble.
No, they don't run that wing tee anymore. They run a pro style now. They don't run wing tee anymore.
I don't know why DJ Ugalele.
Alphabet.
Uiagalelei.
Ungale.
The announcer kept saying
DJ.
DJU.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just calling DJU because it's too much of a tongue twister. You guys know I can't even say words half the time, right? That I mean, if there's like
'Cause
4
you're
words, that this, yeah, exactly. So that being said, DJU, I don't know why he's like 260 pounds or something, big guy. Like he'd be hard to stop on the ground, and they do not run him at all. He acts like a pocket passer now. I think he's 6'6".
And that's
so
the point.
6'5".
He's not.
6'5". So he's tall. He's a big guy. He
6'5",
can see
245,
over everything. He's fine in that capacity. He's just not accurate. I mean, those passes that were to the people in the front row of the stands, like that's how bad it was watching that game. There was at least 3 or 4 like that.
But then he had a couple of moments on fourth. He had 2 4th and long conversions on that last drive.
Yeah, that
3,
fourth quarter, he
I
looked
think.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like 4th and 17 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hit and miss, but he's
Yeah.
not consistent at all.
He was 19 of 27. So
Again,
Well-
so stats don't match the eye test with this guy.
right.
I mean,
Well, and he has again. I think his time at Oregon State was a heavily schemed for him. They limited that offense, ran a select few plays, just ran it in different formations, and again played Pop Warner football with him. But you give him a pro style quarterback like Norvell likes, pro style playbook like Norvell wants to run. He doesn't have the skill set to do that. I mean, I think what you're going to see them is their playbook will narrow way down. And like I said, I put up on our Facebook page, this is the poll. Is he the starter at the end of the year? And I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
No.
If they played that game in Tallahassee, would the outcome have been different?
No.
It is tough to play in Tallahassee with the freaking tomahawk chop going as loud as it can possibly
He
be.
didn't have nothing to chop about.
I just wonder if traveling over to Ireland.
And the weather was cold and wet.
Guys, Georgia Tech played the same weather with the same travel.
But they were run heavy.
I understand that. I'm not saying but I don't know. It wouldn't have been a blowout anyway. I just wonder if the travel wouldn't have. Because we're talking about a game that was.
It can affect the travel can affect different teams differently.
I mean, it was a 3-point game. It could have went any way,
Right, yeah,
for
it could.
sure. It could have went into overtime with a missed kick, and then Florida State just happens to win because DJU was playing good ball in that last drive.
Guys, take DJ out of the equation. Georgia Tech ran through that defense like it wasn't there half the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were taking clump yards on the ground.
No, that's true.
So the thing is, this
From the
DJ
beginning.
may have sat there and thrown all he wants. If you can't stop him, like I said, I put up, to use a Nick Saban term, Georgia Tech ran through them like shit through a tin horn.
They control the line
that
of
was
scrimmage.
his expression.
Completely.
Yep.
Control the line of scrimmage.
That first drive for Georgia Tech set the tone of that game.
They play Boston College this week, coming up. Home game for the Seminoles. So we get to see this week how that home team, that fan base reacts. And it is a hard thing going into Tallahassee. I'm telling you, I've been to games there when they play Florida, and for 65,000 seats in that stadium, it is freaking loud. It's insane. So you get that tomahawk chop going, you get the band freaking playing loud. It's intense. It really is. So it'll be tough for Boston College going in there. I mean, I think they're supposed to win 4.5 games.
I was going to say, but
I don't see that.
You're
as
running a
a
bad
Saturday's
team up
not
in
one of
there.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're running a bad team up in there. So, I mean,
The thing I hate about watching that game is you can't tell which team is which because freaking they both have the same damn colors, which drives me
Well,
absolutely
maybe
crazy.
one of them will wear a light jersey and one will wear a dark.
Yeah, I won't be watching the game because I'll be at the Carolina game. But anyone think that Boston College has a potential upset on this game?
No.
Negative.
No. Okay, so let's just move on then because I don't even know if FSU's even ranked, and we usually only talk about.
All right,
the
so
ranked
everybody's
matchups.
got Florida State then.
Everyone's got Florida State. Oh, you're even matching this, huh?
I am taking our picks every week,
Okay.
and then I will give an update when I do my little spiel, and I'll give everybody's records, and then at the end of the season, like we'll be able to track everybody's record throughout the weeks, throughout the season, and then again, whoever has the best record gets not only a beer from all the other members, gets to label themselves whoever
The predictor. You can change your name for all I care.
Well, when I win,
You
instead
can
of
be
you
like-
guys buy me beer, just buy me 1 bottle of Prosecco.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Or
Clem-
another bottle of Prosecco.
Yeah, we're in second.
Number 14, Clemson versus number 1 in Georgia. It is not technically a home game
It's
for
a home
Georgia,
game. 'Cause it's
but it's in
in
Atlanta in the
still-
BM or
it's
Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, they're both
Stadium.
Not far from
It's
Clemson.
only it's an hour and 15 minutes
about
from
the same
Clemson.
for
It's
both.
about the same.
Yeah, it's about the same from both.
Yeah, okay. So a defining game for both teams for the first game that they're going to be playing, but it's not really that important of a game.
but
they
Georgia's-
don't really have to win that game because in the end, all they got to do is win their freaking conference, and they're in the champion.
Right.
They're in the playoffs.
Right, but Georgia's going to go in thinking we're just playing an ACC school. Clemson's going in.
I
going,
don't believe
we
that.
got to set the tone because we don't want to be another FSU.
So who you got, Chief?
I got Clemson, but it's going to be close, and they're going to win on a field goal at the end of the game or in overtime.
You have Clemson? Okay. So
Clemson hasn't beat Georgia in over a decade.
and it ain't happening this weekend.
No,
either.
Georgia.
So you're going with Georgia then?
Yeah.
All right.
This
So
game's going to be sloppy out the gate. I think both teams getting a feel for one another. It's going to be the first quarter will be ugly. They'll settle in, and then at the end of the game, Georgia has a better coach. He'll scheme them better, and they win the game.
Mountaineer, who you got?
I got Georgia. Close and ugly, but I got Georgia.
why do you have Georgia?
I what he said. I mean, I think it's going to be half. It wouldn't surprise me. Halftime is 7-3, 7-7. Second half, as it goes on, I think Georgia's going to out talent them. And I think they're going. But I think Clemson's going to show that they're not dead. That Dabo still has a team out there.
Close game?
I said 27-14 on the Facebook thing, but that's not a blowout in my book.
Facebook group, by the way, join it.
Yeah, that's not a blowout. I think it could be 20-14 going in the fourth, and Georgia gets a touchdown late. And I mean, I just think Georgia's going to win.
Okay, Chopper.
What?
I know you're an SEC homer,
No,
but certainly you
I
have some
think
love for Clemson, don't you?
Yeah, well, not really, but I think Clemson is going to come out of the gates and give them a run for their money in the beginning of the game. They've got nothing to lose, right? So they're going to come out kind of swinging on
Well, they got the game to lose.
all firing on all cylinders in the beginning of the game. They're going to catch Georgia off off base a little bit there, but Georgia's going to rebound and put things together and beat them in the end.
So here's my
Georgia.
thought. So let me give you my thoughts on Clemson right now.
I will.
Dabo Sweeney's totally against using any portal picks. Like, he didn't have any.
It's going to cost him his job, too.
Nobody came from the portal.
Yeah.
But hold on. We saw from Florida State, who was, I think, number 3 in the portal in the offseason. Like, that's a team that should have won that game against Georgia Tech. But what happens with a team that has only been playing there for 6 months is they don't fully know the culture at that school. Those guys are not locking arms like, we're fucking here to win, right?
Yep.
They're like, I'm here to win, not we. I am here to win. And that's the culture that you're going to have at a school that is heavily on the portal. We saw it at Colorado last season. Those guys fell apart as soon as they lost a game because of that. I think FSU, they go back to Tallahassee this week. All those portal guys are like, shit, why did I come here? Right? Sorry, I'm cursing a lot. I'm just using that, right? Why did I come here? Oh man, we just lost the game. He promised me we were gonna come here and win. You got Clemson, who those guys recruited each other. Like, you had the seniors recruiting those freshmen. When they were a junior, they were recruiting that guy from high school to come play. That's the culture that you're gonna have at that team. I think Clemson is, by doing that, I think Dabo Sweeney is going to be able to develop a team that's going to be solid. I don't know if it's this year, but I think that's a good strategy to use.
It's all well and good until, he's resistant to good NIL money as well, and I go, deuces, I'm out to go run for some coin. That's how it's going to play out.
Hey, Hanger, I appreciate
it's
your passion, but we got 4 more games to pick. Who you got?
Not like you're getting somewhere else.
I got Clemson to win that game. Dabo Sweeney is on to something. I after watching that FSU game and all the stuff that I was thinking about it last year, I was like, you know what? He's on to something, so I'm going with them. Let's go on to a new team then. A new
Or
game.
Deion Sanders is going to replace him at the end of the season.
Whatever. That's not happening.
No.
Number 7, Notre Dame versus at number 20, Texas A&M. Surprisingly, Texas A&M is the favorite in that game.
it's only like
minus 2.5.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame.
Did it come down more? It was 3.5.
It was 2.5 this
2.5,
morning.
yeah.
Or this afternoon, it was 2.5. So,
But they're going to College Station,
which is a hard place to play.
But the game's at
3,000 people there.
No,
That's going to play the big.
Yeah, it's not a night game.
Oh, I thought-
7:30.
It's 7:30.
Oh, is it?
It is. It's 7:30
It's
game.
the ABC prime
Oh,
time.
I must have
Yeah.
moved it then.
7:30 game. Okay,
Yeah.
so Notre Dame. My opinion, I like their quarterback. He's looking good. Is that the guy that came from
Duke?
Duke. Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Riley.
he was
Leonard.
injured last season.
Riley Leonard, right?
Yeah, he put up 1,000 yards in September alone, and then he got injured at the very end of September. So that guy was on track for a 3,500, 4,000 yard season, possibly. If he comes back healthy, Notre Dame should be good at the quarterback position. Their offense is phenomenal, or offensive line is phenomenal.
I think that's the upset.
Say what?
The upset.
So the upset is Notre Dame losing to Texas A&M?
No, winning, because the line is for Texas A&M.
Yeah, but it's 2.5. That's like a.
They tell you
let's
three
just say
It's
toss
at
up a coin.
Texas A&M, and
Yeah.
they're favored by 2.5.
What time is that game? Is that a night game?
7:30. But
All right,
Notre
Hanger.
Dame is still ranked
Sorry.
high.
Bye Notre Dame.
All right, real quick. Hanger, Notre Dame, A&M. Who you got?
I got Notre Dame.
All right, Cheeks,
That's
Notre
an easy
Dame,
one.
A&M. Who you
Are you
got?
trying to take control of my show?
I'm trying to take control of these picks so we can get through.
I have A&M.
We're not in a rush. It's only 8:30.
A&M,
We got all night. We're gonna
Rebel,
go for a
who you
2.5 hour
got?
show tonight.
A&M.
A&M.
I got A&M. Mountaineer. Who you got?
A&M.
Chief. Who you got?
Notre Dame.
That's my man.
Choppa.
A&M.
A&M. All right. So why do you choose A&M?
Playing at Kyle Field.
I just don't see a brand new coach having a good team coming out the first game of the
Who's the
season.
coach?
It's a night game.
Mike Elko. Who did he coach last year? Duke. He knows Riley Leonard.
He beat me to it.
Whatever his name
He
is.
beat me to it. The Duke's former coach is their head coach.
Texas A&M's offense is coming back. Wakeman's back. I think they're going to win a close game. I think A&M wins at A&M. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Notre Dame is just a perennial, overrated. Get enamored by.
They
the
can't
flash
come in and
off the
play an
dome.
SEC team with a brand
And
new
that
coach
crowd will
and
be-
a gutted team. By the way, like they lost so many people to the portal last season. It's gonna hurt them big
The
time.
players they lost, they needed to lose.
Yeah, I think that was a culture change they needed.
Yeah.
I think.
No, of course they needed a culture change because that's a team that literally, after they lost their first game of the season, they're like, "Oh, again, it's over.
Well,
I'm done."
I mean, Sam Hartman transferred there last year and didn't do squat for Notre Dame. And now they got the next
Another ACC guy going to Notre Dame.
Yes, and so I like.
And again,
I like
Duke's
Freeman
former
to coach
coach is
Notre
the
Dame.
A&M coach
I
now.
just don't think they're good.
Okay.
I mean, that's a toss-up game.
And don't underestimate the crowd
Yeah.
at night in the SEC when Notre Dame comes in.
In the largest
For any
stadium in the
school
country.
Yes,
SEC.
man. Yeah.
Fourth.
Anybody anything?
All right, we have Cheeks' favorite team, number 23, USC, playing at LSU.
I thought-
Hardest place to play in the country at night. Or is it at 4
It's at
o'clock?
Las Vegas.
Huh?
It's in Las Vegas.
Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah, it's not Death Valley.
Well, then never mind. I put at. Then why did I put at? I don't
I
know.
think they're technically the home team. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still
Okay.
have a home and away.
Yeah.
Both teams are coming in with a brand new leadership at quarterback.
But both of them,
LSU
both
seems-
of them are following up Heisman Trophy winners.
True story.
Yeah,
Nice
so-
tidbit. I like that.
I am going
Facts.
for LSU.
You're going what? You're going for LSU?
Going against your team.
Or you think
I
that
am.
LSU's going to win?
I think LSU.
But you're rooting for USC.
I still love Lincoln Riley.
Okay, because you're.
I met
Yeah.
him, by the way.
Is he really cool?
He was really nice.
Yeah.
No, he's a stand-up guy, I'm sure.
Hanger, who you got?
LSU, man. I just don't see USC having a good season this season.
I don't either.
Rebel, who you got?
LSU defense.
Mountaineer, who you got?
God, I have no idea. I watched 3 podcasts today trying to figure this one out. I'm gonna take USC.
You're the most serious person at this table.
Hey, Chief, who you got?
We all just get here and we
You
just
picked
talk
my
about stuff.
I
USC?
take USC.
Wow.
Who you got, Chief?
I got USC.
Whoa.
Chopper,
Go Tigers.
LSU, and I myself have USC.
All right. Why are so many...
Don't ask me why.
I feel like such a loser now.
All right. Why did you choose USC? Ripper the Predictor?
I don't believe.
Wait, you have not earned that title yet, so you're not Ripper the Predictor. You are just Ripper.
No, it's mine until somebody takes it from
All
me.
right. I'm taking it from you, mother...
Well, we'll find out at the end of the year. No, I don't think LSU is put together enough yet. They lost too much on offense, and their defense was incredibly suspect the entire year. I think that it's going to be a lot to overcome in one off season to improve their defense that much, and to overcome losing their best receiver and their Heisman winning quarterback. So that's why I'm going to go with.
And they're
USC.
playing,
USC
and they're
also
playing in
got
Vegas, which
Yeah, but they
means
still have
there are
Lincoln
gonna be a
Riley.
ton of USC fans there, and it's loud as F inside that dome.
The over-under is 64.5. That
That's
tells you
a
what,
lot
that
of
tells you what their
points.
defenses are. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So who does Vegas have winning that game right now?
The line is on. It's LSU by 4.
5-4, okay. I mean, that's a reasonable
That's
number,
a-
I think.
That's an upset then.
Yeah, I think an upset is like if they had them by 14 or more.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but I don't know. All right, so my personal favorite game this weekend that we're going to be watching. Well, actually, I'm not going to be watching it because I'm at a Carolina game. Which
You'll have
talk
your
about
phone handy.
We're going to talk about the Carolina game, so throw that one in there too. Because
Are we
that's
gonna
our
bet?
local team. We have to talk
All
about
right,
that.
so I got to find a spot
Old
for. We're
Dominion
going to bet
all
it,
the
right?
way.
Yeah. So okay. So,
Take it all the
but
way.
y'all know y'all know how much I love the Florida Gators, right? Have I ever expressed that to anybody?
Never.
Never.
Never. Okay.
Florida what?
Yeah, Florida. Who? All right. So 2 Florida teams playing against each other. Miami, and they're coming to Gainesville to play in the swamp against the University of Florida Gators. Most likely upset of the week.
What's the spread? It's
On
not
my-
big.
It's 2.5. It's not an upset.
It's an upset because that is a ranked team getting beat by an unranked team.
It's Betty Crocker.
You were giving me a hard time about why am I picking Ohio State when I haven't seen them play? Why are the media picking Miami? They have done nothing. Do they have a good practice? They must have had a couple of good practices because they have done nothing to deserve the ranking they've got.
In your face.
Yeah. Well, Miami hasn't done anything. That's
Go ahead, put
why.
it- Florida. Put me down. Go ahead and put it down now. Florida wins that.
All right. Who do you got?
I got you, Mountaineers.
Rebel.
You and I think very alike when it comes to analyzing these games. It's
got a lot in
we're both Mountaineers, right?
Brothers from another mother.
There you go. So
One from the north, one from the south.
Miami is just like here lately. They're just like kind of like Texas A&M. They're kind of like Notre Dame. They got all this glitz, and then they get punched in the mouth, and that's the end of that. They have they're getting ranked based off talent on paper, but that coach has not proven yet to be able to put it together. The talent that has gone.
He couldn't
to
do
South
it
Beach.
last year.
I mean, they love him down there, but he's done nothing. So my pick, chop in the they're gonna
Chomp chomp. Are you going chomp chomp?
He's going
Florida
Tom.
wins the game because I think Florida's coach.
yeah.
Because I think out of desperation, Florida's coach has got to get it together, or they will run him out of town before the end of the year this year if he starts losing games again. So I think he sets the stage for what's going to happen this year.
Everyone that's been to Florida, like all the pundits that I listen to multiple podcasts,
I
like
like
my
Mountaineer.
man Mountaineer over here, and everyone says that the culture in Gainesville right now, like the mindset that those guys have, is like we're here to frickin' win. And obviously, every football team has that. But the pundits, when these guys go interview different coaches, they see different programs. They see those slight little differences. And who is it? Josh Pate. He went and did some interviews there, and he was like, "Man, I haven't seen anything like it, what they have going on there. So that being said, I'm going with Florida, obviously, because that's my team. But I just think that I think that there's something that's going to grow there, and I don't think that he's going away. I don't think that Billy Napiers going anywhere this
I told
season.
you guys all, Billy Napiers is a good coach. The difference with Florida and a lot of the other schools is they're giving him ample time to get all of his guys in there, to get his way of doing things in there without kicking him to the curb. Yep. I feel Florida's done it right. Now, he may still play terrible. Have a terrible season. They fire him at the end of the year. But unlike some of these other schools, look at Auburn. They brought in coach for 1 year. He had a bad season. They axed him.
2 years.
Well, might as well have been.
That's
They
too
tried
short.
like hell after the first year.
So, yeah, they did. So that's my point being is, in football, it's what have you done for me lately? They're paying these coaches big money, and too often a coach comes in and gets 2.5, maybe 3 years. If they don't turn it around, they're gone. Florida's going. He can't. If Napier has a bad year and they fire him, he will never be able to look back and say Florida did not give me ample opportunity to get it done. And I think this year, I feel like he's going to come out and it's going to be a statement. They are going to overperform this year.
Yeah.
I kind of hope so. That would be great. All right.
Cheeks, who you got?
Cheeks.
I'm picking Florida based solely on the fact that they're home.
And that you love me so much.
Yes, and green's my favorite color, and that's an alligator.
All right, there we go. Chief!
I go Florida too. I think Mario Cristobal is not that great of a coach.
We're all in agreement so far. Wow.
He's a hell of a defensive coordinator, but
Maybe, but
not a head coach.
not a head coach. So yeah, I think the Gators, they're at home in the swamp playing a team that's overrated. I think.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Choppa.
Chopper.
I'm going to stay on the Florida train. However,
However.
Comma ...
I think that this win is going to be very, very, very misleading into their season, and the win could
They're going to get their hopes up a
ultimately,
little bit.
yeah,
Going to be a big letdown.
So
Misleading.
so the Gator fans will be hyped up
Yep.
until they go to play Texas A&M week 3 or
Oh,
something.
they're going to get annihilated then.
I don't know, man.
But
All
I'm going
right.
Florida.
Not if
with
Notre
this.
Dame wins.
Going Florida.
Everything's all in.
All right.
I myself am taking Florida. That's a clean sweep.
What? What?
Florida all the way down.
All right, this is the first time this will happen in the last.
Probably is the
Yeah.
last.
Either we all know what we're talking about,
Yeah, wow.
or we don't.
Hallelujah. All
Thank you,
right.
Captain Obvious.
That's what I'm shooting for this year.
Let's talk about the Carolina game against Old Dominion.
Yeah, we're going to have another clean sweep here, I assume.
Do we
Nope.
want to
No,
pick the
he's
spread of
gonna
this
open
game or
it.
just pick who's
All right,
winning?
let's just say that everyone knows that. What is the spread? Is it 20? I think it's like 21
What
points.
quarter will
Yeah.
most fans leave?
What?
Third quarter.
Halftime.
Third quarter.
I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Are they selling alcohol in the stadium?
I'm honestly,
Yes, they
Clemson,
are.
yes.
Yes, they
I'm
are.
honestly worried about Carolina this season. First of all, that's
Who
obviously
will be their
they're
next coach?
who will be their
Deion
next coach?
Sanders.
Deion
God help
Sanders.
I
us.
hate to say
Beamer is not going anywhere.
Beamer's not going anywhere.
Beamer's not going anywhere.
If West Virginia has a
He's beloved.
good season, I think they're going to come after Neil Brown.
Really?
They were going after Neil Brown before they hired Shane Beamer, and West Virginia gave Brown a contract extension.
Okay.
So
How does that make you feel?
if you'd asked me this 2 years ago, I'd be like, see you later. Now he's building that culture,
Yeah.
kind of like what you just talked about Florida. That's happening in Morgantown. I don't want to get into West Virginia right now, but
Yeah.
it would suck to lose your coach after you finally got something getting built up. But
Beamer's not going anywhere.
I think Beamer's got some time here.
Is anyone excited about Week 1 of college football though?
Nah.
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 No one listening to this show is
I
either.
mean, it's football. Of course we were excited about
Oh man.
it, right?
I don't know why I bought tickets to the first game for Carolina though, because I'm so pissed I
could've
can't
given
watch
you
the
two.
floor. No, but
Sell it.
no, I bought 4 for my
Can you
family
still?
because I bought 4 for my family, and I was telling Amy, I'm like, or Hanger's wife, we'll just call her that since we're all anonymous around here, right? So I was telling my wife, I said, man, the game starts at 4:00, and the Florida game starts at 4:30 or at 3:30, and I'm gonna be sitting there only able to watch half hour of the game before I have to walk into the Carolina game. I'm pissed.
Well, if it's a blowout, come sit with me at halftime.
You're gonna be there?
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
explain something to you. Old
That'll be
Dominion,
my plan.
Old
Yeah.
Dominion is bad. Like, really bad.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I think they are picked to finish third from the bottom in the Sun Belt.
So
They
halftime,
are
I should be
bad.
ready to go and hang out.
You'll be
and
hanging
hang
with
out
me,
with,
yeah.
with Cheeks.
I'll crack your
Okay.
And
face.
I think South Carolina's going to try to make a statement with Settlers starting at quarterback, and I think they're going to try to open it up.
Well, he needs to get all the reps in that he can, for
he can.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So being new to the South Carolina world, is he a good quarterback? Is there expectations behind this guy?
There's no expectations with South Carolina.
South Carolina wants to go to a bowl game every year.
Well,
You
I
do
mean,
that,
now-
beat Clemson, they're happy.
That's our
I mean,
goal.
the
Let's go to a bowl
this
game.
quarterback guy. This
No, he's from Florence. He initially committed to Syracuse, and they flipped him to here. He's a local kid. He's got really good stats in high school. They like him around there, and he showed some flash last year when he got in the game. He's the most mobile quarterback. He's actually probably more mobile than Rattler was. The problem, or I should say the problem, but the key with South Carolina is going to be what can their offensive line do, because last year it was dreadful. Yeah. That's why they brought Sean Elliott back from Georgia State. I mean, he went to an assistant job from a head coaching job because they wanted him to come back and redo the offensive line, because the best offensive line they ever had was under him when he coached under Spurrier. So South Carolina's going and coming will depend on what that front 5 or 6 does, because they've got some skill players.
Because their offensive line has sucked.
It's been awful.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of.
If they would have given Rattler a line last year, his statistics would have been crazy, but he was basically running as he caught the snap last year, and he still put up pretty good numbers.
He's actually looked good in preseason. I don't know if y'all noticed.
Oh no, they said he was kind of sort of like, if it wasn't the fact that his car was the starter, that he might have competed for the starting job, that he's really showing out down in New Orleans.
Yeah, he's looked really well.
Does Shane Beamer lose his job if he loses this game on Saturday?
Old Dominion?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
they are bad. I mean, they're just bad.
Okay.
I know
they're bad.
He wouldn't lose it, but man, he better win out.
Is there anybody not picking South Carolina to win this game?
Whoa.
Chief says Old Dominion upset.
Chief says Old Dominion upset. Oh, you're just trying to.
That's that Clemson hate.
Yeah, just being a homer is all you're being.
All right.
Yeah.
Penn State. We got to talk about the West Virginia Mountaineers, because we got the Mountaineer here. And they're going to be playing Penn State, number 8. This is the other game that I have as a potential upset also.
Ain't no potential about it.
All right, tell me more.
West Virginia wins this game.
Why?
Because
you have hope and a prayer?
No. So I'm not going to get into all the different kinds of stats that are out there, but the top 100 players just come out. There wasn't a single Mountaineer on it. We had 2 consistent All-Americans last year. We got 2 more on the books this year, possibly by the end of the year. We got a 3-headed running attack: C.J. Donaldson, Jaheim White, and Garrett Green. They averaged 286 yards, all 3 of them on the ground running the ball last year. Okay, they played Penn State. They went into Penn State last year. Drew Aller, the next great thing, this great defensive line, this great set of running backs and wide receivers, and they are good. I'm not taking it away from them. We went in there at halftime. It was 14-7. With 7 minutes to go in the game, it was 21-7, and then we gave up a big touchdown. We ended up losing 38-15.
Do I need to cut you off really fast? You're sounding like my man Ripper here when he talks about Ohio State. You got to be short and concise on this.
Okay. You asked me. I'm telling you, West Virginia wins the game. West Virginia wins the game. It's in Morgantown. Big noon kickoff. Pat McAfee's there. Fox is there. Gus Johnson's calling the game. It's all lined up for us. West Virginia wins.
Cheers, man. All right.
I have a quick rebuttal.
Give me a rebuttal.
When
Penn State is the team to beat in the Big Ten this season.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about this game specifically. When Pat McAfee is your claim to fame as a college football university, come on now.
He's not our claim to fame, but he is the best thing going. It's media right now.
Here's my point.
And I love
you said it yourself. Drew Aller, right?
Yeah.
And a great backfield and a great defense. Mm-hmm. And they won 38-15, right? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? They're all coming back. Drew Aller is still there. He's 6'5", 238. He threw for 2,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions as a sophomore. You still have that great defense. You still have those capable offense. But guess what? Now they have a true number 1 receiver who has been buried behind the depth chart at Ohio State. Former number 1 overall receiver recruit, Julian Fleming. He's going to be the difference maker. He's going to take Penn State over the top.
Can I cut you off for a second? You're sounding like Ripper when he's talking about Ohio State right now.
I am Ripper.
Oh, I know, right?
But I'm talking about
Even
Penn
with all
State.
that, even with all that, West Virginia wins this game.
West Virginia wins this game.
You got maybe I'm too deep in the forest to see the trees. I'm telling you right now, Morgantown is a tough ass place to play.
Yes.
You guys are eat up the SEC down here. You guys don't know West Virginia football. I'm telling you, I'm gonna sing the.
I remember Pat White. That was fun.
Okay.
Chopper, who you got? West Virginia, or you got some Penn State Nittany Lions?
Playing country roads.
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Only because they like John Denver.
So you're Colorado.
West Virginia.
Oh.
All right.
Dear
Hey,
Lord.
you're going to get us sued by John Denver's estate for playing that on my show, by the
he's
way.
been dead.
That's like saying you can't go in an airplane anymore.
Oh.
Too soon?
No, you can't leave on it.
Rebel, who you got in this game? Hard-nosed game. Apparently, it's going to be tough for those Nittany Lions.
I said all along it's going to be the most entertaining game of the day. I mean, they're going to college football. Last week was kind of the teaser. This is basically the start of college football. Is this game? It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be back and forth. I mean, I think it's one we'll have a lot of fun talking about next week. Penn State pulls it out by the field goal.
Wow.
Pulls out a late field goal, but it will be back and forth.
Chief, who you got, man?
Penn State, and it's going to be 7 points.
7 points. You think Penn State has the huevos
Yep.
to take
Huevos?
Absolutely. It might be
Huevos.
more, but I think Penn
Huevos.
State.
So you're taking West Virginia to cover. Oh, that's good. All right.
I mean, I realistically, real quick, I could see West Virginia jumping on them early, and then trying to hold on, and Penn State pulls it out.
That's actually.
But you still got West Virginia winning. According to
No, I
the.
said Penn State.
Oh, you said Penn State, and you say Penn State. Who you got, Cheeks?
I got West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Wow.
Mama.
You like them Blue Ridge Mountains?
Yes.
I think she
All
likes
right.
that free drink she got tonight.
Oh yeah.
No, I picked them hours ago, and
I tried to
Mountaineer
rob all
will
of
back
you
me.
before.
What's all that pen cross out on your notes?
No, I picked them online. It's on Guys at the Bar Talking Sports.
Check it out.
Check it out, and you'll notice I did pick West Virginia to take this one.
All right.
Yep.
Hanger, who you got?
All right. So, when I'm out there on the lake floating, and I start talking to people and stuff,
Like
and
dinner?
Mostly-
I think
you're
they're pretty
mostly peeing in
cool.
the lake is what
I mean,
you're doing.
I think my man over there, the Mountaineer, is cool and all, but I do not think his team's going to win. It's Penn State all the way, baby.
Man, you just went leap
I'm
forward
sorry.
his ass. Not so fast.
I might even put on a freaking Nittany Lion helmet.
Oh,
Ah! All right.
Oh, Lord. I
Give
know
it to me,
the coach.
Ripper. Who you got?
I mean, take me out to eat first. Damn.
yeah.
I've got Penn State.
I got a wine and dine to get this out of you?
I've got Penn State by 30. Sorry, bud.
What?
Wow.
By 30.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So the more and more I think about, I've been really digging into Penn State lately, and I really think they've got an opportunity to have a.
To save the coach's job?
A good game
Look.
against a Big 12 team, but not a good game against Ohio State.
No, I think they're going to beat Ohio State in a whiteout in Happy Valley, and then lose to Ohio State in Indianapolis in the Big Ten
I gotta
championship.
get my heart going back. Okay, it's going again. Good.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I think they're
I would
poised
love-
for big things.
I would love to have a conversation about your thoughts on Ohio State's entire schedule, but we
We ain't
can't
got
do
time
that
for that.
tonight.
You could do a special show just.
But we can do what the fuck!
The
We
fuck?
can do what the fuck. All right, so we gotta explain this to my man, the
Oh,
Mountaineer
yeah.
over here, because he has no idea what the fuck is. Do you? Do you know what the fuck is? Can someone tell him what the fuck is? Chopper, talk to me, man. Tell him what the fuck is, and I'll give you some time to think about it.
I have to remember.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, what the fuck?
So,
right. Oh, well,
so
let-
take something that you saw in sports
Or
that
heard.
week or heard. You're like,
Or in the last
Or
year, since we haven't done
Or
one
How
in
about
a
the
year.
last 5
This is
minutes?
crazy.
The last okay, it could be the last
That
five
can be.
minutes.
It can be.
Something's off the wall.
So-
I mean, we are a true to form sports podcast, so we are news makers. So you can even use something you heard on our show, but preferably something that happened within
like-
college football
like-
or even
It's
NFL.
sports. It's not
I
football.
never-
Sports. It could
I
be
never
anything.
use
Yeah,
college
it
football.
could be ice skating.
Well, mine's off the reservation again.
It could even be weightlifting. I don't care. It's sports. So,
I got it.
all right, Rebel. What the fuck?
Here we go. Again, off the reservation.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a WNBA fan. Angel Reese shooting less than 50%
From 2
from inside of 5 feet, and yet she's still in the Rookie of the Year conversation. What the fuck? There is zero chance she's in that conversation. She's shooting like 48% from within 5
But
feet.
do they really take those stats in basketball from 5 feet? Like, do they really?
Dude, they have stats.
Are they measuring it? Are they like, all right, take
Well,
measure?
they've got the ring around to tell if you're inside of that or not. I mean,
Okay,
so
because
you
I
can see
called
it.
BS on that stat when I saw
No,
it.
you
I
can
was
see
like,
it.
that's bullcrap.
Dude, they got so many stats on.
I actually said, what the fuck?
Yeah.
When I heard that
No,
stat.
I mean they got even stats how many times they go pee in a week to know if they're dehydrated or not. I mean they keep stats on everything.
All right,
So
what
no, so her being in
what the
that
fuck,
conversation.
Angel Reese?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? All right, I got a what the
Chicks.
fuck. My what the fuck is baseball. And it's Little League baseball.
Oh, that's so bad.
Oh, so
So
what
bad.
a wonderful wrap up to the weekend last weekend. So
I grew up 20 miles from Lake Mary, by the way.
So Lake Mary and Taipei are playing each other. They're in extra innings. The winning run is on second base. The guy goes to bunt. That goes up to bat for Florida. And it's clearly showing bunt. Hits the ball. Guy starts running for third base. The pitcher picks up the ball, throws it to first, and there's absolutely nobody on first. And it just keeps going. And then the guy that was on second base rounds the bases and wins the tournament. Wins the
Florida wins it on a throwing error.
Yep.
And you were like, what
What
the
the
fuck? All right, Chief. What the fuck, dude?
I don't have one.
You don't have a what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I say what the fuck. That's right.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
All right.
What the fuck?
I saw something
Dang,
today
Chopper.
that I don't know whether or not it's true or not. However, I saw something today that said that there is more money put on sports betting than invested in the stock market now.
Whoa.
That is not true. But I
saw
will
it, though.
say if that is true, I'm like,
Are you
what
saying
the fuck?
like
fuck?
including international gambling?
Yeah.
I mean, man, those Saudis are throwing around some money, buff.
Live for anybody?
So,
Yeah, exactly.
Now I haven't done my research on that. However,
Check my
something
numbers.
to
I
look
would-
into.
yeah.
The guys in the back can look into that, please.
We'll have the guys in the back take a look. Hold on. Up, they're busy right
Look it
now.
up, look it up.
They're actually out
They're
there
getting beers.
taking a leak.
Yep.
All right, so
We'll answer that next week.
Ripper, what's your what the fuck?
So, new Netflix special. They got this series. I think it's called Untold. And latest one that came out today is regarding the Connor Stallions situation at Michigan. And that's just basically where they were doing the sign stealing and stuff like that. And, I give that a what the fuck. But I'm going to give this one a different what the fuck. Who were like two of the producers for this episode? And I know I'm going to lose some viewership. People aren't going to watch after I say this, but it was Maverick Carter and LeBron James. What the fuck?
Oh no! Here we go again.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
So you thought
A lot
and
of
hard.
LeBron haters out there.
No response, Rebel. No response.
So,
one's
Mr.
not needed.
Mountaineer, you thought well and hard about your
can't wait
what
to
the
watch it, though.
fuck? Or did you think of one? Is there anything that you
Yeah.
come
Are
up
you
with?
still mad
what
at
the
me?
No,
fuck?
I'm not mad. I mean, look, I'm
Leaning close to the
I'm a
microphone.
delusional West Virginia fan, so I'm going to say
I'm a Browns fan. I understand.
Okay, so my what the fuzz in the NFL, I guess this is kind of once again a homer thing for me. I saw the day that the Washington Commanders
Oh, you're a Commanders fan.
skin.
I was
I've
a
seen-
Redskins fan. I don't know who the hell that team is
Yeah.
up there now.
Yeah, I'm cheering for the Guardians,
I
bro.
mean, I'm
with you.
Anyway,
Hell they are either.
so I saw the day that they had got a new name for the stadium because FedEx pulled out. But my
Oh,
what the
yeah.
fuzz, why are we going back to RFK where it should be?
Right.
That's mine.
I'll
RFK
go back to
Jr.
everything the way it should be, and I might be a fan again.
Well, I agree. But I just want to. They just need. You know what? Let's start by winning. Win a few games, and then I can get into everything else. But I want them back in RFK where they used to be.
What the fuck, Commanders, Redskins?
Whoa,
whatever
whoa,
the hell you
easy
are?
on the Commanders part there, buddy. You got to break those two syllables up.
Hey, some of the ESPN
What the
people
fuck?
pick them to be number
Commanders.
2 in our division.
Real in our division.
Yeah, I'm an Eagles
See what I'm
fan.
saying?
They picked me for number 3, and the Giants 4.
That's another what the fuck. We traded one of our receivers today.
You only get
Yeah.
one.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yes, you did.
Washington is just one giant what the fuck.
In a lot of different ways.
Hey, Mountaineer. So you get it. You get it. All right.
Preseason. We're gonna take it back home to Gainesville. All right. And I know
We
you
are or you are?
We are. Yeah, we're actually doing the show in Gainesville next week. But what the fuck? Graham Mertz is 14th in the SEC for quarterback right now. And this guy had 3,000 yards passing last season. He was 74%, number 2 in the country for completion percentage. And they have him 14th in the SEC as a quarterback. What the fuck is up with that?
Well,
in my
he can
opinion,
go up.
huh?
He can go up.
And he's only going to go up.
That's a bias over the Big Ten because he came from Wisconsin.
What the fuck? Whoever writes these stupid things on Facebook, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
That's all I got to say. And then the other thing I had to say is keep on coming back every week and listen to guys. We're talking sports.
See ya.